Welcome back to Ripe Reviews. Today we're talking about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice from 2024, directed by Tim Burton. And did we really need this sequel? I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. I'm Joe Lascola.
And I'm Sean, or Michael Keaton, or Beetlejuice, or Batman, or I'm Sean O'Rourke. We're live.
Well, the thing's playing. The intro's playing now. Is the intro over? Okay. Thumb up when it's done. It's showtime, Sean. Here we are.
We're here. I'm all decked out in my costume.
Yeah, are you
checking the chat to make sure we're actually live? I know Tony's off screen telling us we're live, but I gotta check.
Well, is it true, or are we there, or no? It's still yeah. Well, you're behind.
I'm behind. Yeah, I'm looking at myself. There I am on the chat.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Beetlejuice isn't the greatest detective.
No, Beetlejuice is not the greatest detective.
Yeah, he's just a sexual deviant, right? With a mask.
Or the member Keaton. I haven't decided on what this costume actually is.
Oh, it's Beetlejuice. It's Beetlejuice.
Or juice. The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. You are the knight. You are vengeance. You're the Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most. Obviously. So yeah, this is kind of an interesting experience in and of itself. We did do a live event several years ago, but this is a very different experience, a live episode.
It's a totally different thing, man. This is our very first live episode together. It's weird sitting right next to you instead of like
Thanksgiving dinner.
Looking at him, yeah.
The funny thing too, I know I mentioned Tony from Act the Movies off camera. He did a live show earlier.
Yeah.
The funny thing is he's one of like 1,000 people behind the camera. Can you believe it?
Can you believe how many people showed up for this?
Yes.
It's insane.
The sad thing is, though, to join the movie dumpster event, only Tim from Tape from the Crypt was allowed to keep his tongue. Everyone else had to have it removed and handed in.
Oh, yeah. James McAvoy cut it out, yeah.
It's a trick or trash special, so we thought we'd make it violent for people. You had to pay to come in, and then you got tongue cut out. It was a 2-for-1 special.
There you go.
And everybody, but welcome all hundreds of you. Thank you, and everyone at home,
and also welcome everybody on YouTube that's checking this out or watching right now. So that's pretty sweet.
That's also like this is like an onion, as Shrek would like to say. It's layered. There's many layers to this. What's happening?
So we're coming at you live from Neshaminy Creek Brewing in Croydon, PA, for CRYPT Video Rentals with a little Beetlejuice for you.
Yes, in Neshaminy.
In Neshaminy?
We were saying that wrong. We were told.
Didn't I just say that?
Well, I'm just going back for people that are paying attention.
Gotcha.
This is not their first episode.
This is true.
There you go.
Neshaminy. I'm sipping on some Young Pumpkinstein, dude. What do you got? Some Faygo? Look at that.
I got a Life Hero outside. This is what they had. They had a cherry Faygo.
Yeah, much clown love for you, buddy.
Whoop whoop.
All right.
I guess I'll have a sip. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, pour one out for the clowns. Yeah. So
Beetlejuice.
So Beetlejuice. Now, before we get into that, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the original movie because it's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
So I wanted, growing up with Beetlejuice, right? What was your first exposure to Beetlejuice? Like, did you see the movie first? Was it the cartoon? What was it for you?
It was definitely the movie, but I have more memories of watching the cartoon as a kid. Like, definitely watched the movie, but the cartoon was on more regularly.
Okay.
But it was definitely one we watched probably too young, but maybe the cartoon was the reason for that. Just like kids watching RoboCop and Rambo too young because of the fucking cartoons.
And this is also true.
So definitely the cartoon more, but now it's just, I love the movie. The cartoon's kind of fun to return to. It is out on streaming, but it's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. And I don't really remember personally seeing the movie till much later. Or I don't have a real recollection of the first time I saw it. It's just one of those things that's been ingrained in me. It's part of my DNA, like Star Wars or Little Monsters or The Goonies. I couldn't tell you the first time I saw those movies.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
It's just always been there. Ghostbusters, yeah.
Batman.
And Batman, there you go.
It's definitely after 1989. Beyond that, I don't know.
Well, I remember the cartoon a lot too. So I don't know if I probably saw the cartoon. I definitely had the toys. My cousin had those Kenner toys.
I had some of the toys. I definitely didn't treat them like maybe Kenner wanted me to treat them. They were action figures as far as I was concerned.
Oh, 100%, dude. But I just have fond memories of playing in the basement with those things, man. It was great. But But yeah, the cartoon, I revisited that not too long ago, and it's not the greatest. It doesn't hold up like real Ghostbusters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's some episodes and there's some ideas there, but again, like Beetlejuice as a concept doesn't necessarily translate to a buddy sidekick character when you really start thinking about it. But they don't want you to think about it. They don't want kids to really think too deeply about what he was really doing in that film.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Those purposes, just like he just stopped pursuing that for Lydia, and then it was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna go on adventures.
Right? Yeah. Now it's Scooby Doo in the underworld or something,
or whatever. Man, I remember like dressing up like Beetlejuice. My dad made me a Beetlejuice costume out of like a prisoner outfit, so the stripes were the wrong way. So they were going like horizontal instead of vertical.
Yeah, okay.
I remember that too. And I had just posted that video. I don't know if you guys had seen it or not, because we did it like unlisted, so it's not like in the Movie Dumpster feed, but you can search it, and it's the Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review.
Oh yeah,
from Orlando, Florida, Universal, and it's like this whole rock and roll show with the Universal monsters and Beetlejuice like hosting.
Yep.
So you could check that out, and that's like one of my fondest memories too. So
yeah, I remember that too. That was kind of cool. You had that your dad's videotape you found and put that out. That was cool. And you even get a little bit of Dad and Little Joe and the family in there, of course, naturally.
Get a little glimpse into the little skull of life,
into the mind of Joe. If you haven't already gotten it through the many episodes of this show.
So I know I just said I don't remember the first time seeing this. My first time.
Sure.
But do you remember when you first saw the first Beetlejuice movie, the 1988 movie?
I mean, just kind of going off what you just said.
Or what's the memory, what's the farthest back you can remember?
I mean, I definitely remember that was like Cool Runnings, one of those ones we watched in the car a lot.
Yeah.
Especially on those long trips to visit my grandparents in Florida. Multiple times I remember watching that one, specifically that, Ghostbusters, Cool Runnings. And a smattering of other films would always be on in the what do they call that? The conversion van.
The conversion van. You know, I didn't. Somebody was like, "Hey, idiots! It's a conversion van."
I
was like, "I don't know. It's like a fucking Winnebago."
Grew up in the '90s. Wasn't necessarily schooled on what was going on in the '90s.
The van with the curtains, right? In the bed.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense when you call it a conversion van. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, man. I used to watch this all the time, like on a repeat. And like, this is where like
throwing the tape.
Well, yeah, man. And it you know, like I always wanted to be Beetlejuice as a kid. You know, he's just like the smart ass. He's like the coolest dude, right? Until you find out when you grow up that he's
in the
kind
cartoon,
of a scumbag.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. The trick Lydia into marrying him, a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Read between the lines, folks. And we're not even talking about Jeffrey Jones yet.
Oh my God! Look. We just save it, all right? Keep it in pocket.
I'm saving it.
We'll get there. Don't worry. Yeah, it's got that, you know, awesome, iconic Danny Elfman score. Tim Burton in his prime. He comes off like doing Pee-wee.
Pee-wee and Batman, yeah.
Well,
this was before.
Well,
Batman,
he was going to do Batman, and then instead they optioned to do this first,
which worked out weirdly enough.
Yeah. Also, Sammy Davis Jr. Tim Burton wanted Sammy Davis Jr.
Wait, Beetlejuice?
To be Beetlejuice. Could you imagine it? Yeah, babe, I'm the ghost with the most.
We definitely would not have gotten Beetlejuice. Wow, I was gonna say Beetlejuice 2, but that's in the future, I guess.
Sammy Juice, yeah.
Because they won't just be Beetlejuice. It'll be Beetlejuice 2, right? That's gonna be the naming convention.
Right. You can't say it 3 times because if it's in the branding and then people say it all the time, he'll be showing up to malls and all kinds of stuff. You know, your friends want to see him, get his autograph.
We'll
over your
talk
head.
about that.
Yeah, that's a reference from the first movie for you there, sweetheart.
Also, natural progression of events, to be fair.
Yes, this is also true. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. This is the first movie was like that era of Tim Burton where like he was still Tim Burton. He still had his stank on it, and it made it unique. You know, Pee-wee, Beetlejuice, Batman, Sleepy Hollow, and the
Burton goth stamp.
And that's it. Yeah. But, and then Michael Keaton in that movie is a force of nature, dude. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, him and Winona kind of made their careers. I mean, Keaton's was already kind of made, but the two of them, and then Catherine O'Hara and Jeffrey, all kind of like, you know, at the time were no names for lack of a better term.
Yes and no.
In the scheme of things, yes and no. It's not Tom Cruise.
But you gotta credit Michael with a lot of, like, he came up with the Beetlejuice character.
Yeah.
Like, that whole thing, Tim was like, I don't know, do whatever. And he was like, and I remember I saw something with Michael Keaton, and he just, like, got a bunch of clothes from wardrobe that were, like, different time periods and shit. And then he just did this weird character, and people were like, and Tim was like, that's it. That's Beetlejuice.
Well, he was right.
And there it goes. Did you know in the original script, Beetlejuice was like this like impish like Middle Eastern looking guy with like wings and shit?
I'm glad they didn't do that. They would have had to get Nelson De La Rosa. He's not even the right ethnicity, but you know how Hollywood is.
Could you imagine him and Brando, right? Brando is Otho.
Okay.
And Nelson De La Rosa as Beetlejuice
Right,
chasing after Winona Ryder.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go check out the Dr. Island Monroe from 96.
Yeah.
We did an episode on that. If you want the further extended nonsense with Tony from Mac the Movies.
Oh, man.
The Pig Man.
The Pig Man. Oh, just real quick, too. The other option besides Sammy Davis Jr. was Sam Kinison. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Like, he would have been, like, ridiculous.
That would have been
weird. It would have
That-
been way too much.
That's like John Goodman's idea when he was going to be in Ghostbusters. What about your Rottweilers?
No, that was John Candy.
What did I say?
You said John Goodman.
Oh, wrong John. Right story.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Beetlejuice because it's such like a perfect movie. It's that Ghostbusters lightning in a bottle thing.
Oh yeah,
you know, and like
we thought about even doing an episode on the original, but maybe another time because we both love it.
Well, we optioned to do this because it was like, we're going to do something for CRYPT Video Rentals. We're going to do a ripe review. It's going to be a shorter one. And, we wanted to talk about Beetlejuice in some capacity.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to it, but I'm going to tell you what I thought about it in a second. But before we get right into it, I want to just note that, like, it's almost 40 years for this sequel to come out.
Burton was even talking about that because people were like, when's the third one coming? He's like, well, it took this long for me to make this one, so 38 years from now, I'll be like 90.
You're done. No, that's it. The Beetlejuice, you're done. The original, that Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian thing was the original concept. Well, it was like the fucking Brady Bunch, dude, when they go to the island. So the
you know the story behind that?
Well, you want me to go first?
Explain it first, and I'll tell you the backstory.
So the plot was Charles Dietz go to Hawaii and they want to build like condos or some shit, and it's a real poltergeist situation because they dig up like this indigenous burial ground, and then all these spirits come back, and then for whatever reason they have to enlist the help of Beetlejuice to stop it.
Well, I read that Tim Burton literally only wrote that script as a fuck you because he knew they would never make it, and that was his out because they wanted to make it. And he's like, "I'll write the worst script possible." And somehow then Jack Frost 2 basically picked that up. I was like, "We'll do it instead."
If that wasn't like a telltale thing,
I know,
right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, no, guys, I don't want to do Beetlejuice 2. The first one was great. That's it. I'm done. 40 years later,
well, money talks.
Can we do Beetlejuice, and get Michael Keaton back and everybody? It'll be really fun.
I mean, he got the bug clearly when he did Wednesday. That's kind of when a lot of these rumors. I mean, they've been talking about this idea for literally 40 years, but that was, I think, the bug. Again, without me personally doing research, it's been a couple years since Wednesday at this point too. Crazy to think about, but it's like I know a lot of the times that was when he was getting a lot of those questions. Oh, this feels like Beetlejuice. What about Beetlejuice?
It's just so far removed, and you talk about things like Bill and Ted, right? Or what was another one? Or Ghostbusters or Beverly Hills Cop. And
Tron.
All three of those things did it pretty successfully. All things considered.
Yeah.
All things considered, they were good. I liked Beverly Hills Cop. I liked Ghostbusters Afterlife. I liked Bill and Ted Face the Music. I liked it.
I like how you specified Afterlife. That was very intentional.
Well, if you want to go see what we thought about Frozen Empire, you can go check out that review as well.
With my brother.
Yeah,
Michael.
We did with Mikey. What was I going to say? Sorry, this is a live show. There's no cuts, there's no edits, so we're just going, baby.
Our patrons over on patreon.com/moviedumps are always asking, why don't you guys put one out, a live episode, put one out unedited? This is what you're getting.
This is it.
This is what you're missing.
Right on the floor. So the first impressions of this, man, I saw the trailer.
Okay.
We saw the trailer for this. Now
you gotta tell the people your first impressions of this trailer.
That's what I'm about to do. If you let me speak, Mr. Juice.
Sorry. The juice went to my head.
The juice got loose and it's all over.
It out with the Faygo.
So we talked about it on a live show when the trailer dropped.
Oh yeah.
And I was like vehemently against it. I was like, I don't want this shit. It's the Jenna Ortega show. We're gonna get all that stuff. And I was just like, I'm good. And I think it dropped around the same time that the Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer dropped. And I was like, this is way more enticing to me. However,
I was busting your balls about that because you tweeted that. You're like, hey, that's just how I feel. And I was like, no, you're allowed. I just thought that was funny.
Well, on the flip side of that coin, you
were like,
hey, Beetlejuice, it looks pretty good. Let's see what happens.
I was just have the mindset of like, hey, it's 40 years removed. I'm really literally not expecting anything as long as it looks better than Hocus Pocus do. Which, to be fair, I still haven't watched, but I've heard horrible things.
Dude,
I'm gonna watch it this year.
The bar for Hocus Pocus 2 is so
it's
so low.
That's what I've heard.
You want to talk about awful sequel? Then there you go.
We're not. But I'm just saying it didn't look like that. So I was like, it might be good.
No. So I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
I was really into the Fanta promotion though, because I gotta have my gimmick drink. So I was like, all right, give me some of that haunted apple.
How was that?
It was good. I actually had a whole case of it, and I forgot to bring it with me because I was gonna give it out to people.
Not as good as the Urge, right, Tim?
No, Tim. The Urge was the business. I'm going to quote Tim from Tapes from the Crib because I gave him a can of it, and he said, "This tastes like Michael smells," and he's not wrong.
Nah,
no.
I didn't taste it, but I can now. I am tasting it.
I had it with some bourbon. It was okay, and then I had it again. It was all right. It's just like shitty apple soda.
You know what I wanted to try because it was Beetlejuice brand. It was the orange Fanta, but I only drink diet. They didn't have it. Fuck, the branding wasn't on the diet. They said, "Fuck you, Zero. You're not getting branding."
No. Well, I don't think that was a special flavor.
Nah, I was just making a bad joke.
They fuck with you, man. Because I went to the movie theater and I got the slushy version of the Fanta, and it was really good.
Oh, okay.
But then there was like a purple one too that I missed.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
some other one.
Was it grape?
Yeah, or I guess. But now they just have it, and they just rebranded it with like the wild robot.
Oh,
so it's like, wild robot raspberry and wild robot cherry. It's like, you didn't even like give it a good flavor.
I mean, they got so much left over. They got to do something with it, right?
No, but it's just like the regular flavors.
I see
it's nothing special. So
this isn't Burger King. They're not dyeing the buns black, Joe.
So yeah, I didn't have any hopes for this movie or expectations. You were
got tickets for the first day it came
You
out.
were the optimist, right?
I was like, I hope this is good. I got to see it day one.
So I said, all right, I'm not going to go see this in theaters, but I ended up going to see it anyway. And I took my folks because it was my mom's birthday. So I was like, all right, let's let the I'll go with my old man and my wife and my mom, and we'll go out to see Beetlejuice, whatever. I gotta tell you, it wasn't bad. I was like, okay, it was decent. It was fine. It was totally fine. And if you know me and you know the show, I will totally eat my words if it's good or not. And objectively, I think it's fine. Like, it was fine. I laughed a bunch. It didn't bother me really. It was okay. You, on the other hand,
fuck. I hated this movie. It's not the worst movie I ever saw. Like, I still think for me, it's like a 2 out of 5. Like, I'll rewatch it and give it another chance. But man, I was like, I don't do this that often, but I was in the theaters like this, like at least 5 times in the film. Audio listeners, my hands are on my face. I couldn't fucking believe it. The first scene. Well, we're gonna talk about spoilers shortly, but the first scene, it already lost me, and it had to reel me back in for the next 90 minutes, and it never got me back, unfortunately. I wanted to like it. I wasn't like sitting there like, I hate this. I want this to be bad. Like I was trying to get back into it. I never did.
My mouth was agape at like a lot of shit that they did, and I was like, I can't believe they just did that. What is going on? I can't believe they just did that. So it was kind of a lot of that. I need to go back and watch it again.
I mean, yeah,
to really see if I like it or not. Or I might be like, I'm good. Or I might be like, oh, this is even better than I thought, No,
yeah. That happens with pretty much any movie, unless you really were like, oh my God, never again. I'm not saying that.
It was a good time in the theater. I had fun, and we walked out with smiles on our faces.
Hey, me and my wife both turned to each other about 40 minutes in, and she goes, "This isn't very good, is it?" I said, "No, it's not."
My wife and I kept looking at each other going like, can you fucking believe what they keep doing with Jeffrey Jones? They keep showing up.
Oh, God. Again, this is a ripe review. I know we're kind of in a live element.
Yeah.
But we will say when spoilers are happening, you're watching. So
yeah.
If you're here, thousands of people here, whether you saw it or not, you're going to find out.
All the people are getting it spoiled for them. There's no cuts, there's no warnings, so here it comes. If you haven't seen it, keep watching because this is a live show and we want you to keep watching. Spoilers, man. Here we go. Let's do it.
So you want to just start with Jeffrey Jones? You
No.
Okay, we'll get.
Let's organically
all
get
right.
to that fucking guy. So yeah, I was kind of taken aback because in the trailer they do Deo like a choir version of Deo, and I'm like, that was one of my gripes. I was like, who is this for? I was like, the guy who liked Harry Belafonte was dead in the first movie.
He's been dead.
He's been dead. Nobody else was listening to it.
Alec Baldwin, by the way.
Yeah. So they replaced the Harry Belafonte motif in this movie with Richard Harris's MacArthur Park, which everybody probably knows it better as the Donna Summer cover. You probably heard that one.
Which is actually like a good song, and the Richard Harris one is like one of the notoriously bad songs ever. Like, I instantly just think of the Weird Al version every time, the Jurassic Park.
Dude, Harris's MacArthur Park is like primo, like teenage angst, I got dumped song, but like
that's what it
written
is.
like really bad. Because MacArthur Park was notoriously dangerous when he was writing the song, by the way.
I did read that. I mean, we're kind of removed from it for many fucking decades at this point, but when you do that research, it's like, okay, I see where he was coming from.
But I went back and I really looked at the song and I'm like, what credence does this have to the plots of this movie? And I'm like, fucking nothing, dude. Green icing on a birthday cake or some shit, and that's it. It's like, well, Beetlejuice has got green on him, and there's a wedding cake or something.
That was one of the scenes I was like shaking my head vehemently, like, what the fuck are we really doing the Deo scene again with a different song?
Well,
they're dancing.
I thought I had missed something.
No, you didn't.
I thought I had missed something.
Oh, you missed the intro when the Donna Summer song is playing for like 4 seconds.
Well, yeah, because like in the original, it's the
Deo,
Danny Elfman, the Deo into his score. Oh, by the way, Danny Elfman redoes his iconic score from the first one, and I really like it. And you know what's even cooler about it is it reminded me a lot of like Oingo Boingo. Like that style, like Danny Elfman, Oingo Boingo.
It's not
style.
quite knocking on little girls' doors, but yeah, that type of music. I'm kidding.
No, the
vibe of the music.
The vibe of the music. There's like chants and grunts and stuff in it. It sounds a lot like old school Boingo or like Forbidden Zone.
I was gonna say like Dead Man's Party-esque with some
even older than that.
Yeah,
older than that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Specifically Forbidden Zone.
I mean, if you hear it, if you do a side-by-side, you're hearing Beetlejuice, but you do take up those other instruments he's added in. It's interesting.
It was just cool, and I was like, oh, this is sweet. And they did the whole intro over the model, and I was like, you know what? This feels good. I'm into it. You got me. Here we go. Let's take the ride.
Yeah, that didn't take me out of it. Kind of expect that with this kind of requel situation. Yeah. They want to call that back. That worked for me. But you know what didn't work for me? I kind of already said it, but why is Lydia the only motherfucker on the planet in the last 4 decades that could see ghosts? Did they establish that? I've seen the movie like 100 times. Did I miss that detail?
I'm sure she's not.
The way they make it seem is she's got her own. She's like Fakeman in part 2.
Yeah, she's got her own show. Yeah, but there's John Edwards. Is that his name? John Edwards?
He was a fraud. We found that out.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying there's other psychics and other ghost bullshit like all over Sci-Fi Channel.
Ghosts in this universe? Is that what you're implying?
Well, yeah, of course they can.
John Edwards in the TBU, the Tim Burton universe, can speak to ghosts.
Lydia is strange and unusual, as we found out in the first movie. But I like that angle. I thought it was like, oh, I never really thought of it like that, where it's like, oh, she can see ghosts. So why wouldn't she be a medium? And it kind of makes sense where like, she hooked up with some dude. She's on pills. Some guy's draining her of her talent and making a buck off her. I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
Some self-insert in here.
Yeah. Well, Justin Theroux plays Rory, who's her fiance or manager, /
producer / your mother's ass.
Yeah, so he's feeding her pills and she's going off the deep end and she's having flashes of Beetlejuice and stuff for whatever reason because the script dictates it. But, I thought it was fine. I thought it was a funny angle, and it worked for me. So
yeah, I mean, I just didn't like it, but I don't want to vociferate on it. It was just like, okay, this is what we're doing. I guess it makes sense, but okay.
Yeah, and the other big thing was Jenna Ortega, because I'm like, this is going to be the fucking Jenna Ortega show. I'm like, this is going to be Wednesday. You know what I mean? It's just all going to be about her. I was surprised how much it's not. I mean, she has her own arc.
It is, but it isn't.
She has her own arc, but it's not. It's not like we're following her the whole time and she's hooking up with Beetlejuice or something. She has her own thing she's doing with a completely different character, which I thought was actually pretty decent of a a story.
No, on its own, I don't mind that. I think like one of the biggest problems I have with this film as a whole, without just getting into it, is that it has too many plot points. And I see a lot of people saying that actually helps the film.
I would agree because it's distracting you from
the plot holes,
from what you think you want to see.
All right.
Does that make sense?
I could see that argument, but I did see a lot of people saying that. To me, it's just like it gets too lost for me at that point. I mean, I could sit here and name all those plot points, A, B, C, and D. Don't get me wrong, but it's like we have to focus on so many characters. It's like a problem that One Piece has, but it's like 1,000 fucking episodes in, where it's like this guy's created 1,000 characters. Tim Burton did one other movie, and he's struggling with these like 5 characters to keep him like relevant in the plot, in my opinion.
Yeah. I want to just talk about one more character, and then we're going to get to the big kahuna, the big red kahuna. Catherine O'Hara.
You mean Moira from Schitt's Creek?
Dude, I don't think she skipped a beat.
I mean, she's great, but she's Moira from Schitt's Creek. She is not Delia.
Well, you talked about this, and you said, oh, she's Moira from Schitt's Creek. And I'm like, why isn't Moira from Schitt's Creek Lydia Dietz? I mean,
Delia. I mean,
Delia Dietz.
There is absolutely, you could make the connection where the character is a little similar.
That character first, and then the Schitt's Creek character.
I don't know.
And then, you know what I mean?
I guess if you watch Schitt's Creek, I don't know if you have yourself.
I haven't, so I have no context.
It is very, very similar to that character because she's like an over-the-top actor that is into the arts, and she has 1,000 wigs, and she's very flowery, which is similar to Delia, but I'm just...
It's exactly what Delia, who Delia is.
If you go to that first film and you watch that character, she has very specific character quirks. She overreacts in a very specific way. And I'm not saying people don't change in 40 years. Obviously, people change in 40 years. So that could be Tim Burton's argument. That could be Catherine O'Hara's argument. Sean, shut up. It's been 40 years.
Well, she's only truly happy when she's sculpting, so she's back in New York doing that.
That stuff I like.
Yeah.
I felt too much like her character from Schitt's Creek. It didn't feel like she was doing Delia to me anymore. It just felt like, oh, this character Moira was very popular, very successful. I think she was nominated for it a few times even. And it's just like, well, it's still Catherine O'Hara. She's still really funny. But to me, it just didn't feel like the character, so it kind of took me out of it. I just kept thinking of Schitt's Creek over and over.
I didn't get
that. Like, where's Eugene Levy? Where is he?
I had no point of reference for that, and I thought she was fine. I thought she was funny as hell. She got the most laughs out of me the whole time. When she's talking to what's his face, Bern Gorman, who plays Father Damien in the film, and he's like droning on about some shit at the funeral. And he's like, oh, God takes us for the lamb and the blah blah blah, and she just turns to him and goes, what? And I just thought that was funny. It was just a little thing like that. The inflection and everything, it was just so funny.
I mean, it's definitely part of my brain, the way it operates. Like the MDU is real in my brain show, where I make these connections. It's hard for me to break the connection sometimes. So maybe part of that is me I can't help but think Moira the entire time. Moira Rose.
There you go. Well, we're gonna change the subject of Moira right now, because now we've established our main, the Dietz family returns, right? Well, Daddy Dietz is not with us anymore in this film.
But he is a lot.
My goodness.
Tim Curry couldn't stop writing this man into the script. He's like, another page, please. Come on, one more page with him.
Now, if you're not familiar with Jeffrey Jones's nefarious doings, go look it up. We're not going to really talk about it, especially in a live show.
Short version, he had some inappropriate shit on his computer and he got arrested.
A capital P, if you will.
There's a bear in there somewhere.
Yeah, So
we talked about it many times on this show.
So he's been excised from Hollywood. Why are we writing him into this fucking movie at all? Like, you could have just been like, Charles Dietz, he's dead. He didn't have to show his picture.
He didn't even have to be dead. They could have just said he left the country. He's with a new family.
Could have left the country. Well, that doesn't really fit the character. He could have had. I much see him having a heart attack or like falling down the fucking stairs or something in that big house.
I agree with you. I'm just trying to think of a way to write this motherfucker out of the movie instead of dedicating 20 minutes of runtime to him.
Like, I could totally see like Gina Davis or Adam just like kicking him in the ass and falling him down the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Or he's in the Lost Souls room and his soul's been eradicated.
Well, he belongs in the Lost Souls room.
I don't know. Something else besides this.
The way they get around, just because I just said it, the way they get around Adam and Barbara is they're just like, well, they moved on. Everything's fine. A loophole, question mark, they're gone. They're out of the house.
I mean, I was okay with that because I was like, all right, we're already we can make Beetlejuice still look pretty much the same. I mean, if you want to get nitpicky, he does look older, obviously, but they try with the makeup at least.
I thought we were going to get like de-aged.
Oh, thank God we didn't
Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. I was like, oh my God, please don't do it.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think you could have pulled them off in that. I guess if they de-aged them digitally, they could have, but You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't want to see it, and I thank Christ they didn't. They moved on. Good. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So they're at the funeral. They have the funeral. Charles Dietz dies.
He's dead.
We're gonna get to that in a second of how he dies. But they show his face on the tombstone. There's a picture of him
in the trailer. Even I couldn't believe
in the trailer. I was like, holy shit!
For that.
But like, one of the gags is that they're doing the Deo choir thing.
Oh, you brought that up, right?
And it's for his funeral. And Catherine O'Hara's like, he used to love that song. I'm like,
did he?
Charles doesn't even know the fuck Harry Belafonte is.
Well, in 40 years, he became a banjo. He found Alec Baldwin's collection, and he's been listening ever since.
Whatever. Yeah, he found his tapes, right?
Right next to the bird watching books that were left there.
Yeah, they really go hard on that. They go hard on that, too. So Jeffrey Jones's picture is there. And they keep bringing him up throughout the movie.
That got the most laughs out of me. Every time he appeared on screen, I'm like, he's back.
I kept looking at my wife going, they're doing this. They're doing this. And they show him like 6 or 7 times.
Well, okay.
There's like a painting. There's a picture.
Yes.
They have him in fucking claymation.
That is the big difference. So the claymation scene, I don't even dislike this. It just felt like very shoehorned into the film, but I guess it's like, well, we don't want to pay the actor. This scene is actually kind of expensive if we were actually to do it.
But you put his likeness in it.
But you put his
so
likeness
you still
in
have
it.
to pay Jeffrey Jones. You can't just use his
and
likeness.
His picture on the grave, I would assume.
Which pissed me off. That's what pissed me off about it. Because this motherfucker's getting money.
Yeah, but the whole joke is he's the claymation. They show him get killed. And
which is cool because it's practical.
Yeah, but the joke is, he died. His plane crashed. Oh, he died in a plane crash? Oh, no, a shark got him when he was in the water. Oh, my God.
This shark comes up and like bites Jeffrey Jones' head off. Me and my wife like grabbed each other. We're like, holy shit, they just did that.
Yeah,
it was great. So that's how they get around it. So he's not in the movie because his head has been bitten off by a shark.
Or his upper torso.
So it's just his body walking around with no head, and he's like talking out of his like severed throat. It's like spitting water. Jesus Christ, blood.
Blood, which is one of the funnier gags in the film. Every time he's talking to someone like Catherine O'Hara gets blood. Well, that's what he sounds like. You can make out what he's saying, but it's that like bullshit talk, like bubbly talk.
But it just like
But it's an uncredited voice actor. It's like his name's just scrubbed from the film entirely.
Yeah, but you can not credit him all you want. He still got paid.
Well,
I know he did.
I wonder
you can't just do that. You can't just use somebody's picture without their consent.
I do wonder if that's just a weird thing with Tim Burton, and I use the word weird, maybe not the best word for this, but it's like, well, I've worked with him many times, and I like the guy, so I wanted him in the movie, but I couldn't because he got canceled, so I did a workaround where, like, I still got him paid somehow because I couldn't think of a better way to get rid of Charles Dietz.
That's one way to put it. So he's like
put him on a bus. He's on vacation. Yeah. He's going he's on bird watching. Maybe that's the end of the film. Oh, Dad died. Fuck.
Well,
but they needed an excuse to get the characters together.
Delia tells Lydia the story of how Dad died, and she's like, yeah, he wanted to go to some island.
Oh, an island of Dr.
And watch
Moreau.
2 birds have sex on the beach. What do you think he's talking about?
Well, he was getting his rocks off. Let's hope that those birds were not under the age of 18.
The capital E island, if you know what I'm
Jeffrey
saying.
Jones, so you know we can't know for sure. Anyway, yeah, he's constantly showing up in the film.
Anyway, yeah, that's the last I want to talk about him. Because I just thought it was so absurd how much he appears.
No, it is. I do want to comment on him one more time, just in the context of a weird thing they do in this film, and maybe they do this a little bit in the original, but they do this thing where it's like, you remember the original? People die, and like Barbara, and what is Alec Baldwin's name in that?
Adam.
They don't really know right away. They figure it out quickly, but they have to kind of figure out to go to that fucking waiting room.
Well, that's kind of the catharsis of the movie.
But this time, it's just like Jeffrey Jones just dropped off in the underworld.
Fuck him.
This other guy that's like Catherine O'Hara's assistant at the art gallery falls in like a sewer, and he just gets dropped off in the middle of nowhere. It's like, all right, I get that Tim's going more for like the cool visuals than the consistency.
That was a great transition though to get to get like reintroduced to Beetlejuice and like what he's doing. So, why they gave him a job, I don't know. Wow, why he's got the shrunken head. Like when he got his head shrunk in the first one.
Oh, Beetlejuice?
Yeah, did he like get it fixed and then like did he like take the dust from the witch doctor guy and like make his own people?
Like to make all his helpers that he has in his Beetlejuice Incorporated or whatever?
He recruits like Bob and like a bunch of dudes with shrunken heads. I mean, I know it's whatever, doesn't make any sense, but like it's just like, okay. What do they do exactly? They police the underworld?
Right. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. The underworld in this movie is very different than the first film, and maybe that's just Tim Burton thinking a little more outside the box.
Or the afterlife, excuse me.
Oh yeah, I keep saying underworld.
Yeah.
That's just how I picture it in Beetlejuice.
Well,
but
it's the segue because like there's different places you can go from there. It's
Which-
like the fucking bus station.
was that a cartoon add-on? Because I
Yeah.
don't remember that from the original. That there's like, well, when you die, there's the afterlife, but also there's like this Dante's Inferno kind of thing where there's multiple layers of the afterlife. Because well, you can go in the Lost Souls room and then you're just basically gone forever, or you go on the Soul Train. And it's definitely not from the '70s. Remember the Soul Train, Joe? Remember the Soul Train?
Sure.
Remember they were dancing around doing the Soul Train?
That's what happens when she dies. That's what happens when he dies.
Well,
that's
a
what
different-
happened when they
that's
die.
a totally
It's all
different
very
thing.
personal.
That's
Okay.
a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That's like when the people show up and the guy, like Jeffrey Jones, is bitten in half. That's what you're talking about. They're stretching that line.
I think it's
like
fun.
peanut butter in this film.
You're so hung up on that.
Have you
It's
met
really
me?
not a
Have you
fucking
fucking
deal.
met me?
It's really not a big deal.
It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Also, Beetlejuice waits how many goddamn years in that waiting room? And then later he goes to the waiting room and he's like there for 5 fucking minutes and gets seen.
Well, that's the thing. So, like, in the afterlife, you know, he's number 5 million, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
like, that could be 5 minutes here. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
That's because
Yeah.
they're like, whoa, you were gone for 6 months, you know, when they're talking to Juno or whatever in the first one. Anyway,
in the first one. Yeah,
time
yeah,
works
yeah.
differently there, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We know all that. This movie
Bends the
assumes
rules.
that you've seen the first one and you know all the
I think it assumes you didn't see the first one personally, and it's like, hope you didn't see that first one, so you can't connect all these inconsistencies.
I thought it was fine. You know I'm a stickler for that shit too, and I didn't think it was a big deal.
All right, fair enough.
So with that being said, we get introduced to Beetlejuice again. I don't know what the fuck exactly he's doing or why. I thought he just like hung out in his crypt
Right.
until and then like you know, hustled new ghosts.
Like, is this his business? Did he have this in the first one? We just didn't see it.
Yeah,
Is this
Beetlejuice.
new?
The Beetlejuice, his business card, his flyer.
Well, I'm saying this like office with the shrunken head people.
Yeah, I think he's just expanded.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but like he's expanded. But why you know, like Willem Dafoe lets him do that, I don't know.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe, by the way, that's another thing I thought was kind of a funny character, but
I
I,
love
didn't
that
understand the logic behind it. Again,
Wolf Jackson.
why he's a B movie star? Why is he the chief of police of fucking the afterlife?
Because it's
'Cause
hilarious.
it's funny.
I think it's funny as
Why
hell.
isn't it a cop?
I think it's funny as hell.
I'm not even pro police, but why isn't it a fucking cop? That would make way more sense. Just make him a cop. Make him a cop who did B movies when he retired. That would have made more. I would have been like, okay, sure. I did B movies. Isn't that funny? Remember Tim Burton did Ed Wood Show? Remember the movie he did? It's popular.
It's fucking fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I think it's fine. I think it's
Fine
funny.
is a good word.
He got a laugh at me. I liked how he was like, you know, stuck
He
in
was
his
funny.
own world of like acting and stuff, and how he always got his coffee just to fucking throw it on
Throw
the
it. Yeah,
ground.
no, he's got good character quirks.
I
Again,
thought it was funny.
I just thought it like, why? Why? Why?
Because it's 40 years later and we're doing a Beetlejuice sequel. That's why.
Listen, I'm not trying to say I know what the fuck's what. I'm not getting paid to write these scripts. I'm not getting a paycheck. I haven't even picked up a pen or a pencil to attempt to write a fanfic. But
Yeah.
I could write something more engaging than, well, okay, then Monica Belucci. Let's get her in here somehow.
Well,
and Danny DeVito, we need his cameo.
We're gonna get to her at one
It's
second.
just, what the fuck are we doing?
Because I wanna just talk about Jenny Ortega because I thought her
Okay.
arc was good because she has seemingly inherited the being able to see dead people.
Right. Well, yeah.
We don't know
They
this.
do it subtly, but yes.
Yeah, you don't know it at first, which is pretty cool. And then she meets this kid who I'm like, he's probably a ghost. And he was. But the way that they twisted is so great because he like ends up being like a serial killer and he like kills his parents and stuff.
I kind of thought that's where it was going.
And he's like baiting her to trade her soul for his so he can like come back to life and she has to go on the other side. So that's
Yeah.
like that's her whole arc. And that's how we kind of have to summon Beetlejuice and like why Lydia needs to make another deal with him so that she can be saved.
Right, like the whole thing, if he helps her save Astrid, she'll
Yeah.
finally marry him.
Yeah.
And he's been kind of
Now's my chance.
yeah, he's been following her tangentially for decades, but now he like really wants her again.
Yeah, or whatever.
For plot. I think he might even sense Astrid in the underworld or the afterlife at some point.
It was fun to see Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, but there were some parts where I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Well, he's like 80. It's kind of hard.
He's putting on real hard.
And I'm like, dude, what?
You need subtitles. They didn't have them in the theater. You almost want to go out of your way to go to the closed caption screening just so you know what the fuck he's saying.
Like, I laughed out loud at one point because he says something, and I'm like, what did he just say?
Well, you know, the problem is, too, I don't know if we want to talk about Monica Belucci.
Yeah, bring it in.
Okay.
So
I want to talk about Beetlejuice's backstory, but we got to talk about her first.
We get this, so we get his backstory and like things that are alluded to in passing, which is kind of like one-off jokes from the first movie.
Did you like that? Because to me, it felt like Han Solo.
No, I'm fine. Dude, Han Solo's
Solo movie.
Han Solo's, first of all, is way different because we're playing like the Imperial March in the movie.
Wow, that's true. It stretched over 90 minutes.
That's a whole nother
This is 4 minutes.
ball
right,
of wax, man. This is just like,
Yeah, this is the story of how I met Dolores.
and Monica Belucci's character. And like she was like it's during the Black Plague, which I thought was hilarious. And Beetlejuice is just this guy, this pervert cannibal who's like going around like eating parts of people and like having sex with pieces of people. And he meets like this like witch cultist woman.
Soul sucker, yeah.
Babe extraordinaire Monica Bellucci.
Tim Burton's wife, by the way. That's why she got in the movie.
Well, yeah, I was wondering why she was in it because she has fuck all to do. But
top 4 favorite movies apparently: Corpse Bride, Edward Scissorhands, and 2 French films or some shit. I was like, oh, so 2 Tim Burton movies. Were you into Corpse Bride?
Was she in Dracula? Was she one of the brides in Bram Stoker's Dracula?
She might have been. She might have been.
Anyway.
She replaced Helen Bonham Carter once Tim got bored of her.
It was either that or Van Helsing, one or the other. I don't know. Anyway,
it was Van Helsing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was Dracula. That's what, yeah, because I remember Tony being like, "Oh my god, but Monica Bellucci."
Well, you know, Tony.
What do you mean?
He keeps his eyes front and center, if you know what I mean.
He's a boob guy.
That was the joke.
Yeah. So where was I going with that? Okay.
Monica Belucci.
Yeah. Well, she like tricks him and like poisons him, but he's also crazy, so he ends up like hacking her up before he dies. So his origin story is that he's poisoned by a cult leader. And then he becomes Beetlejuice.
Sure, why not?
I guess. It goes
no
with
magic involved that I'm aware of.
Does it have to be
no
magic?
ritual? Yes, it does, in my opinion.
Well,
I'd rather them just not explain it at all. Like I said, Solo. I don't need to know how he met fucking what's his face?
I thought it was funny. It was a funny
Lando Calrissian. I don't need to know that.
I thought it was a funny throwaway thing. Is
sure.
he's like speaking French or something?
I guess it's supposed to be Spanish.
It's Spanish. I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it was.
I think it is, yeah.
But it's like all sepia toned. It's pretty funny. I thought it was fine. And that's it. And she comes back and she's like, Beetlejuice.
She comes back because Danny DeVito, who's like this guy, I guess according to Wikipedia, he drank Drano. That's why he's drinking it, and that's why he's punished to do that.
Oh, I thought he was just a dude he's just a janitor.
According to the internet, that's why he's in there, Joe.
Anyway.
Everything needs an explanation in this film.
That's fine. But she's a soul sucker, so it's literally death for the dead because she takes these dead people and she like sucks whatever life force is in them in the afterlife.
Yeah, but it's funny because
he turns them into like fucking like a deflated balloon.
Oh, he looks like the Penguin, straight up. But just finish that thought.
Dead Fred.
He gets killed, or I guess before he gets soul sucked, he pulls a fucking Dick Miller at a chopping mall. He hits the wet spot with the friggin'
that's right,
with the machine, and he gets electrocuted, and that like shoots the electricity into the body parts that then start moving around.
So you got a little Frankenstein thing, and she puts herself back together. But she's like on a warpath for Beetlejuice, but like it never really goes anywhere. Like she's killing people or in the afterlife, but she's such a background character. I forgot she was there until the end of the movie. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
She like they have another scene with Jeffrey Jones walking around to like a laundromat. She kills some random like Chinese laundromat guy. I'm like, all right.
She goes and gets like her wedding dress or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's
and all
what
that
it is.
kind of stuff. So she's
looking for a background threat.
She's looking for Beetlejuice, and if Beetlejuice marries Lydia, then he'll get out of the afterlife and become, now's my chance, and he'll get out.
Because now, like you said, like because Astrid's now in the afterlife, doesn't know she's about to trade her soul with this guy, who's a serial killer. Well, not a serial killer, but he shot his school up and killed his parents.
Yeah, that kind of constitutes.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, and then you have Lydia and Beetlejuice. Kind of go through the back way. Beetlejuice blows up a wall and somehow he can get into the afterlife.
I mean, why not? Sure. That book's...
Nobody can see fucking ghosts in this world but Lydia, ever. In the history of man. Now these bobs are running around, these shrunken head people. No one... Oh, I guess it's Halloween, by the way.
Well, they came over from the other side.
That's a caveat we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Randomly, it's Halloween.
Well, I'm all right with that. So
I'm
it's
like,
a Halloween movie, so it also
right.
fits the motif.
Trick or trash?
No, but like I thought it was cool how they expanded the handbook for the recently deceased, because the only thing we really get from that is like draw a door and like this thing reads like stereo instructions kind of thing.
I kind of like the expansion on it.
Yeah.
I'm a purist. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. I kind of wish they didn't actually show the pages, to be honest. But
I thought it was kind of.
I wonder if that's a marketing thing. I wonder if they're going to put one of those out.
But they keep doing that, right?
Yeah.
So like they're Beetlejuice draws a thing,
The door or
the
the bomb.
and then he lights it on fire and it blows up. Later,
breach.
Astrid draws a door directly to Saturn, which I didn't know you could do. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know.
Well, she's got the secret Konami code in the back of the
that's
book,
right,
Joe.
yeah.
Gina Davis wrote that shit in there after the end of the first movie. She's like, I picked this up over on Saturn.
There's one other thing I want to get to before we get to the end here.
To the end, yeah.
When Winona Ryder and her manager or whatever meet Beetlejuice for the first time, because he accidentally says it.
Well, he's fucking with her because
He's like, Beetlejuice, nothing's gonna happen. So then they get sucked in.
Yeah.
And that's like the scene from the trailer where he's like the psychiatrist, but he makes her pregnant. And then you get this baby juice that comes out of her and like starts biting her leg and shit. That thing was fucking creepy, dude. And it's like running around the floor and on the wall.
Have you ever seen The Son of the Mask, Joe?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's funny?
I
don't know.
If I didn't want to like see the whole movie, I would have fucking left the theater at that point. I couldn't fucking. Why are we doing this? This weird pregnancy joke? It's like, I guess that was funny.
I thought it was because it was weird. It was just like this weird thing that you're watching, and you're like, "What? Why do they keep doing shit like this?" I couldn't look away. It was better than Joker.
Maybe all this time, even though I love fucking Beetlejuice, it wasn't made for me. Maybe that's what I'm learning here.
It's possible. I mean, it wasn't made for me either. But like again, for what it was fine. But yeah, so we get this big ending scene where Lydia has to marry Beetlejuice because that was the deal, and then we get this
at the church,
the
same church from Sleepy Hollow, obviously.
Oh well,
it does look the same.
Yeah, well, Jeffrey's getting the thing through the window right through his chest. Yeah,
except it misses because he doesn't have a head.
Oh,
he survived this time. He survives.
Oh no,
Christopher Walken. He's out there.
Did you hear that?
Biting his teeth.
Yeah. So they have this wedding and they have this cake that comes out, and it's this huge musical number to MacArthur Park again, and like,
right, this is the big number
again. Like
Cake's getting rained on.
It's like a weird train wreck because I'm like,
I think
it's
that's
just
what they're
so
going for.
Bizarre. It's just so bizarre.
Because
right?
like Jenna Ortega said in interviews, like when she was asked about that, like, oh, you ever just hear a weird song? Like it's just so bad, like you just can't believe it. Like I guess that's why they picked that.
Maybe
song,
that was the joke
or part of the reason why.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of weird shit happening, and it all kind of culminates. And
well, they're dancing like I was joking earlier.
Yeah.
They're doing the Deo thing.
Yeah, oh god, they do the Deo.
But it's like
thing.
on a way larger scale. Because I also read that character, Lydia's love interest in major air quotes, the guy who's basically taking advantage of her.
Yeah, the manager
was
guy.
kind of the Otho replacement. That's what the point of that character was. Well, Glenn Shaddix is dead. Let's make this guy.
Yeah.
Can't replace Glenn, but I guess I can understand what they mean by that.
I guess he didn't really even fill that role that
That's
way.
what I'm saying, but I could see where they're coming from with that logic.
So they save Astrid, or Beetlejuice saves her. They're even. He's got to get married, and then
he's got to get something out of the closet.
I can't remember exactly what happens, but if I'm remembering correctly, a sandworm comes out of the ground because Astrid like draws a door for it, and it's
she
like
reads it in the book.
Yeah, I know. And she's like, Beetlejuice is like a matador for the sandworm.
Yeah, okay.
And it like ends up eating Rory and Monica Belucci, so they fuck off out of the movie.
And it's like right as Monica Belucci walks in, so like that is actually kind of funny to me that after all that
she's like Beetlejuice, boom, and then she gets hit.
In a different movie, I might have found that funnier, maybe if there was less going on. Yeah. But for this, I was like, all right, well, she's dead. Okay. We did the joke from the first one, huh?
Yeah. So somewhere there's like a caveat where the contract that Lydia signed, there's like a out clause, and the contract goes up in smoke, and that also alternatively kills Beetlejuice, or like lights him on fire, and he goes back to the afterlife.
So we forgot a detail. Not that it matters. But Delia. she accidentally kills herself.
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
she's got
right.
these snakes, these 2 asps.
The asps.
And she's like trying to do some ritual to like summon Charles to give like a final
It was
goodbye.
kind of that was good too.
And she kills herself, and that's how she gets into the afterlife and becomes a part of the final scene. And she has this convoluted shit where she's like, I made a deal with Beetlejuice that if the only way to find you is if I forget exactly. It's weird, but that's how she's now appearing in real life. Because again, now all these ghost characters, Willem Dafoe, the ghost cops, the shrunken head people are all at this church. And then they get frozen by either Beetlejuice or Monica Belucci. Well, and then they're all there still.
Right, but they're not supposed to be. They're chasing the Bobs that got away.
And they happen to get there. You're right. Yeah.
Right. So that there's like a you're not supposed to come from the afterlife into this world.
That's what I'm saying. Long story short, the worlds are fucking merging.
Yeah. It's like Koopa and Mario Brothers.
But you're right. They say the Beetlejuice, and he turns into Dennis Nedry from fucking Space
Jam. He inflates
turns
and
into
explodes.
a huge balloon and explodes.
And that's kind of it. And then there's like 2 fake out things.
This is more pregnancy shit.
It's like Jenna Ortega's like pregnant with the Beetlejuice baby, and it comes out, and then
but they do a fake out where they think it's like she went to college and she met someone that's also kind of like into horror, but it's a fake out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was the one that really got me. That was the one.
I just thought it was funny. It was just like how do we end this? I don't know. Baby juice.
Also at the wedding, they did the pregnancy thing again, I guess is what I'm thinking of, where it's like Lydia and Jenna Ortega also then had more worms coming out of them because Beetlejuice is like obsessed with that, I guess, in this movie.
Worms? I don't know.
Babies and worm leeches.
So...
And then she wakes up like, oh, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, and
credits.
Then... Dun, 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 dun. So is this ripe or is it rotten for you?
This is rotten as shit.
Yeah, rotten as shit. See, you can't use that term so furiously. You know what I mean? Like you don't use it lightly.
All right.
Was it that bad?
It was very rotten. Okay, maybe not rotten as shit. Maybe that's a bit much. All right, you got me there. Your cat's got the tongue. You got the Michael Berry tongue. Whatever the fuck I said earlier.
Bat juice.
The bat juice's tongue. Hopefully it's his tongue. I did not like this movie. I kind of already said that, and I kind of complained about the things I didn't like. I mean, for some reason, the Jeffrey Jones scenes, maybe just the fact that they was even happening on screen is why I found it funny. I don't know if those scenes actually were funny or if I was just laughing out of just being nervous at what was happening. I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch this. I did kind of rewatch it in preparation for this. Didn't sit there like with my eyes glued to the screen, but I was like, all right, let's get the order of events right in my brain. Does that count as a second viewing? Probably not. So I guess I got to at least see it one more time when Beetlejuice finally is announced in 30 years.
You said his name 3 times.
Well, thank God. I don't know. I was going to make a joke. This is live. I can't really salvage that one joke. It wasn't very good for me personally. Like I said, me and my wife, I feel like are 2 of the only people that didn't really like it in this room. Everyone's very quiet, so they clearly agree with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, check it out for yourself. I know we always say that, but it should be on streaming, if not soon.
It comes out. It actually drops in the next couple days.
Okay.
I think the 7th.
Let us know in the comments. I don't know. I did not like it.
I think it's Monday. Yeah.
I said on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire when we reviewed that I'm probably not going to revisit that till the next one comes out. I kind of feel the same about this one. I'm joking that it might be 40 years. I don't know if Tim Burton's going to direct that third one if it happens, but it made so much money. It wouldn't shock me if we get it in the next few years. I hope we don't.
Yeah.
I wish the first one was the only one, but I understand this is the trend the last decade. It is what it is.
I'm totally fine with it. It was inoffensive.
Was it ripe?
It wasn't ripe. Well, in the theme of trick or trash, it would be a Zagnut in my treat bag.
Right.
Okay. I like Zagnuts, but my teeth don't like Zagnuts.
Okay? All right.
It's like a Butterfinger coated in coconut. That's basically what it is.
Man, so this is like, now that I got to get my answer for that.
Yeah.
Fucking Mary Jane, man.
Mary Jane, yeah.
But not for the reason that I've said that about other movies in the past, if you follow the show. This ain't Boom Medea. It's not a Mary Jane for that reason. Yeah. It's just a Mary Jane because of what an actual Mary Jane is. It's like chewy. It's in your mouth for too long. It's
molasses chew.
It's nostalgic. It's it's from the past. I forget the term. It's an echo of the past, much like Beetlejuice is at this point.
Well, that's where I was kind of going with that.
And this kind of is taken out of history. It's pulled from the 80s, and I'm chewing on it now, and it don't taste right.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm kind of doing with this because it's that Zagnut, right? And you take a bite of it. And it's delicious on that first bite. And then you're like, oh, wait a second. It's kind of pulling my filling out. And then it ends up not, thank goodness. And then it tastes sweet and it goes down. I thought it was fine. I thought it was totally fine. You got to check it out for yourself if you haven't seen it. Don't listen to him or me or anybody else. If you want to know if you like it or not, watch it yourself. It was fine. I highly suggest watching the original before you dive in. It makes all the little other jokes, if you're not super familiar with the original, much better, a much more enjoyable experience. Yeah, I'm so like lukewarm on it. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I'd watch it again. I mean, I'd throw it on, and like if we were all hanging out for Halloween, or like I was at my family's house and we were carving pumpkins or something. Like, yeah, sure, put it on in the background. I don't care.
It's just a case of like I could think of like I was gonna say 10, but maybe that's stretching it. I could think of 5 other Tim Burton movies I'd rather watch before I even consider putting this one on again. It might actually be 10.
As far as new Tim Burton goes,
yeah, that's a caveat.
This is one of his better films that he's done in the past 10 years.
He's done some stinkers in the last 10
decade
plus. So yeah, Corpse Bride might be the last decent one.
Maybe.
Anyway,
with that being said, check out Beetlejuice. See if you dig it or not. But yeah, before we get out of here, we're gonna give away some stuff. Now, this is gonna be a fun thing. With all these people sitting here, we got 2 big prizes that we're gonna give away for people sitting in the audience, and we're gonna give a bunch of stuff away for people sitting on YouTube. We can't. Can we see the chat?
I can see it. It's a little delayed, but I have it up here.
How many folks we got in there? Can you see?
We got 112 people in here. So not as many here at Neshaminy.
Yeah.
But you guys, we love you. Dumpster Rollers, appreciate it.
There's double the people here at Neshaminy.
Well, no, you got it times 10, Joe.
Gotcha.
You got your Q's and T's crossed or something. I don't know.
All right. So let's do the big stuff first.
Sure. Where is the big stuff?
Well, we have one here and we have one by you as well. There's so many people in the audience. We're gonna go off the cuff here. And we're gonna say, this lovely young lady here, would you please step up to this microphone? You are one of our winners.
Where's the microphone?
Right there.
Oh, right in front of me the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe that's she's on 4. What's your name?
Erica.
Is your mic on? Let me see.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Erica, how you doing?
I'm good.
Are you a big Beetlejuice fan?
I did not dislike the new one. I thought it was pretty good.
She liked the new one.
For less than 40 years old.
For less than 40 years old. Yeah. Not too bad.
I know I'm overly critical. I can't help it.
Well, we got 2 cool things here. We got this cool I got this stuff from Spirit Halloween. It's a Beetlejuice gravestone, and it lights up and it flashes, and it's really, really cool. We got that, and you have one on your side. The Beetlejuice sign, where you can figure out where to dig them up, right? And you can press that little button on them. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
You gotta change it. Dumpster juice.
Yeah.
Dino.
There you go. Which one of these lovely prizes would you like? The Beetlejuice sign?
I don't blame you.
Well, you got it. You stay right there. We're going to give it to you. Here, can I please have it?
Oh, yeah.
Don't put it
this mask, I can understand why Michael Keaton, wanted to turn his head. That might have actually been Christian Bale, but Batman's the joke.
Super enjoy the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Hey, what's your favorite podcast?
Your guys.
Yeah, your favorite podcast is Movie Dumpster.
Movie Dumpster,
right?
Movie Dumpster.
Thank you so much. That's so awesome. Thank you.
You made Bat Juice very happy.
You got it. Thank you. We got one other big one to give away. With this fine, lovely lady, come on up. You're the other winner.
Out of the thousands of people,
out of all these people,
insane that you're able to point that person out.
I know. You're a big fan of the show, right? Yeah.
Love to hear it.
You love it, right? Are you a big fan of Beetlejuice?
I've actually only seen it once.
You saw it one time. Did you like it when you saw it?
I love it.
Oh, perfect. That's all we need to hear.
Do you like it enough to have this awesome light up Beetlejuice? Hold on. Where's the thing? Gravestone? That's pretty rad, right? You win.
Woo! What a crowd. This is incredible.
This is great.
Again, we removed all the
What's your
tongues.
name, by the way?
Lauren.
Lauren, there you. Congratulations, Lauren.
We somehow forgot to remove her tongue, but she wins a prize, so it worked out for her doubly so.
Wait, Lauren. What's your favorite podcast?
Perfect! Movie dumpster!
Thank you. Yeah.
We really should get a sign.
We should get a. Well, you're wearing it. On
Yeah. Right here.
All right, now here's the YouTube stuff. Now I don't really even know how this is going to work, but we're gonna give it a shot.
We're gonna try.
So okay, let's do first up is this Beetlejuice mug. Now, if you win this, if you win any of the stuff that you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you send us a direct message on Instagram or email us or something so we can keep track of it. Tony, my man Tony from Hack the Movies, who has been switching the whole time. Thank you, brother.
Woo!
Give it up for Tony. Yeah.
Hacking the dumpster, literally.
He is going to, I think he has the chat. Do you have the chat up on the side? Okay. This is what we're going to do.
You got the mouse in your pocket?
You're sitting right next to me, Bat Juice.
I was trying to throw you a one-liner there. You could have made that work.
Well, you fucked up the joke again, so I couldn't.
That's not my joke. I never get it right.
You keep
Sorry.
fucking my joke up.
I gotta write it down. I gotta tattoo it on me like memento.
On your forehead.
Yeah.
What is that, a mouse in your pocket? Or no, that's not even the joke. You've said it so many times that I can't remember what it is. What's this wee shit? You got a mouse in your pocket.
There we go. We got it.
So
right,
here's what we're doing for the YouTube watchers. I am going to ask a question, or it could be random, right? It could be like, what number am I thinking of? Whoever comes closest to it or answers correctly first is the person who wins the thing. Okay? So I'm going to give you fair warning. We're going to start first with let's see. No, I don't. This is all on the fly, brother. This is live television. Live TV.
I mean, this is gonna signal off people that are fans of a particular series. If you want me to get that granular with it,
Well, probably Beetlejuice adjacent, dude.
All right. Well, if you're watching live, how's that? There we go. This is like what the radio does. You had to be paying attention the whole time to know what we were talking about.
That's what I was. That's what I was trying to do in my head.
Okay.
So there you go. We're on the same page. Oh, who was originally going to be cast as Beetlejuice? The first person.
Did we talk about that?
We did.
Okay. We now wait while the
we wait for the feed to catch up.
Yeah. Again, not to keep repeating the joke I've already, smashed it into the ground enough, but the tongues being removed was a great idea. We need to do that at every convention.
We could.
You can pick them up at the door, by the way. Hopefully you left it labeled properly. If not, I don't know what to fucking tell you. He's locked in. Okay.
Rob K, congratulations. You won the Beetlejuice mug.
Yeah.
That's for you, bud. Make sure you message us. We'll rewatch to make sure that we get everybody, and we'll message you too. The second giveaway.
The answer was Sammy Davis Jr., by the way.
Yes, Sammy Davis Jr. Yep. There's a few things to give away. The wonderful, excellent retro release video and CRYPT Video Rentals and Tapes from the Crypt has given us VHS tapes to give away as well. So we're going to do some of those, and then we're going to give away this this Beetlejuice snow globe. Oh, VHS Haven. Thank you so much for this awesome donation for these prizes. So what do we got coming up first? You want to do one?
Yeah.
Here, there you go.
What we got here? What the hell is this? Oh, God, I still haven't seen this one.
It's great.
Blood Harvest.
Blood Harvest.
Is that a Joe Bob special? What is that?
Yeah, Collector Series Joe Bob Shutter special of Blood Harvest on VHS. Special yellow tape, too. Check
Joe
that
Bob's
out.
here in person. He's not at the Jamboree. He's here in Neshaminy.
Well, there he is.
Holy shit.
And
in this tape.
And he's going to be invading your home soon, whoever wins this.
Yes.
All right, here we go. What was the original title of the planned Beetlejuice sequel? The original sequel for Beetlejuice. And now we wait while the feed
7
catches
seconds.
up.
Imagine if this was like Squid Game. If they don't answer quick enough, people just start getting shot. By the way, Squid Game Season 2 is coming. I'm excited. Anybody else excited about Squid Game? One person besides me. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the tongue's right.
You mean 1,000 people just agreed with you?
Yes.
Did I ask the question yet on the feed?
You did.
Okay.
We got the answer.
What? Chango TV. Chango.
He won.
You get it. Congratulations.
I could say that with confidence because we met him in person.
That's right. That's going to you, bud. All right, let's see what else we got here.
Got a few more here.
The Little Lion's Den. This looks like somebody fucking a puppet.
Hey, you want to fuck a puppet?
Yo, I'm down with this. Sure,
okay. The norm. I know you want to fuck him.
It's on a cool yellow tape, a yellow slab as well. It's a real man's play place, Little Lion's Den, a world you can't understand. Make Them Wonder Why Productions, the complete first season. So check that out.
Joe's gonna find out a way to get into the chat for himself to win this one.
Yeah. Well, I'll just think of a question that nobody can answer. No. What's the airspeed of an African swallow? No. Let's see.
He's got some questions on the phone he's looking at. That's what you're waiting for.
Okay, here we go. Where did I watch Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review when I was a kid?
Want to give you a hint?
Do you even remember?
I also saw it at the same location. And many other people, maybe thousands of people in this room saw it.
They might have.
Did not have the videotape on hand, though. Was not clutch.
Whoever was paying attention is going to get a bunch of cool stuff. This is where we separate the fans from the liars.
We got it. Gianni Hello.
Gianni Hello, congratulations. You win the Little Lion's Den VHS.
Yes. Universal Orlando. Also, Gianni, just side note, thank you for doing God's work, going through every episode and calling out the timestamp for Granny Van Dam's appearances. Dumpster Dwellers, if you want the details, look at Gianni's comments. He knows.
Every episode, if we mention GVD, he has timestamped it generously for you.
He's going through them.
We got 2 more VHS to give away, and then we're going to give away this awesome Beetlejuice snow globe. So here we go. You're up.
Oh my God, what is this?
Tell them what they've won. Beetle Bat.
This is Death of a Ninja.
Death of a Ninja, huh?
Not wearing hockey pads.
All right. So what's the question?
Let me take a look.
I mean, I'm not wearing a cup either. Should I mention that?
Let's see.
And yes, Ahmed, these are all VHS. That's kind of the thing we got going here.
What was the name of the Fanta flavor for the Beetlejuice promo?
That's a good one.
What? Oh, okay.
Tony already forgot he's been running the show.
No. Someone's got to guess.
Don't you love the dead air in a podcast, Joe? Is it your favorite thing in the world?
I'm having such a good time. I don't know what you're talking about. I really am.
All right, people, chat. Come on.
It's just like if we
Google this one.
It's just
Someone
like
figure it out.
It's just like if we were sitting at home doing an episode.
All right, thank God. I invoked his name and he appeared in the chat. Dino, you are the winner of this one.
Dino came through with it.
This one's getting shipped overseas, folks.
There you go. Congratulations, Dino.
The little Spanish flea himself.
Yeah, make it awesome. Dino has made some awesome artwork for us, by the way. He did a Beetlejuice drawing. He did a Dr. Moreau drawing. He did all those Diddler drawings of Sean.
Yeah, the Diddler, yeah. We gotta get some Diddler work from him. I keep saying that.
We've been sharing it and like reposting and stuff. Check it out. It's really funny. So that was cool that he did that. All right, we got one more VHS.
One more tape.
Psychic Vampire.
Woo.
This is from VHS Haven. Again, thanks VHS Haven for these tapes to give away. Yeah. That's all you need to know. A fun slice of indie Nirvana. I think that's Mr. Lobo in the corner right there. Let me see. Is that Mr. Lobo?
Yeah, that is him.
Sure as hell looks like him. If it's not, then I'd be really yeah, because
we got his number. We could call and confirm later.
Yeah, because Dixie did the poster.
Oh shit, there you go.
Dixie did the poster. Mr. Lobo is in this movie. It's called Psychic Vampire on VHS. So here we go. Let's get the question in here. Do you want to ask one or you want me to do it again?
Sure.
Okay.
I got one.
Sure,
I
yes.
got one.
Yes, okay.
What is the name of the song that we've been talking about on and off this whole episode that's featured in Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? Don't listen to the person off camera.
This is for YouTube only.
That was one of the other thousands of people that said that was not someone that already won.
It's okay. That's a gimme. If that's all right, that's all right. If everybody's like, oh, it's this.
Well, we'll see if the chat was paying attention.
Yeah, let's see if they heard it or not.
Again, Radio Logic. I listen to radio. Lowest form of entertainment. I say that as I do a podcast.
Radio Google, Radio Gaga.
Yeah. We got some bad answers in here so far.
Wow. What?
Deo, a bunch of Deos.
Who was it?
John Belucci.
John Belucci with MacArthur Park. He left that cake out in the rain, baby, and you get the Psychic Vampire VHS.
I mean, we did mention Deo, but we were talking about MacArthur Park.
No, MacArthur Park is the one featured in Beetlejuice. Okay.
That's the giveaways.
We got one more giveaway.
Oh,
This is the grand coup de grace, right?
I mean, that's the Beetlejuice snake.
Dig this snow globe. This Beetlejuice snake snow globe with the Dietz's house or the Maitland's house, rather. It's pretty cool.
This is the TB. I said this earlier.
What?
Edward Scissorhands, baby.
Oh.
What is going on?
Do you think Edward Scissorhands...
It always snows at that house.
Do you think Edward Scissorhands did all the foliage at the Maitland house? He was carving snakes and shit?
Tim Burton should have taken some fucking lessons from that movie, his own movie, and said, you know what, Nona? Maybe Lydia could have changed her hairstyle in 40 years. I don't know. That's why I fell in love with goth chicks was Lydia Dietz, man. I think most people did. It was between her and Shannon Doherty.
Fat juice.
Fat juice! I don't know why he did that. I guess that's a thing now. Here's my question. Dino, draw this one. The Diddler versus Bat Juice. Well, how's that one going down?
Oh my god, yeah.
Both characters created by me. Well, I mean, I didn't really create shit, but riffed off of somebody else's creation. Welcome to the Movie Dumpster universe, folks.
Let's see.
Okay, you got one more.
One more.
We're getting delirious here. These lights hitting us.
What's the name of the actor that we could not believe appeared 7 times in this fucking film?
In fact, he gets his ass slapped by that snake in the first one.
We come for your daughter, Chuck.
Ah! All right. Let's see. If you guys don't get this one, you've never listened to the show before.
Well, you haven't seen Beetlejuice before.
I've been talking about him way longer than I'd like to admit.
Lo Wang DC, you win.
He already won once. Does he get 2?
Oh, no. Wait, did he win already?
Oh, no, he didn't. You're right. My bad. My bad.
Yes,
yes, Lo Wang is the winner.
Okay, Lo Wang is the winner of the snow globe. There you go.
Sorry, Lo Wang. Didn't mean to steal it from you there.
It was you, wasn't it? The snake. Okay, that's it. That's all the giveaways. But we do have one more thing to do before we get out of here. The Jeffrey Combs giveaway.
Oh, yeah, from the Reanimator episode.
That we had on Instagram. We're going to announce the winners on this show. We got the Trust the Old Pumpkin Bucket. It's full of all of the entries. And we're going to pull 2. One of them is for the From Beyond still that's signed by Jeffrey Combs. And the other one is the Jeffrey Combs or Beyond Reanimator Jeffrey Combs retrospective from Exhumed Films, also signed by Jeffrey Combs. There's going to be 2 winners for this. And I'm going to pick one and you're going to pick one.
And for anyone here, that's, again, all these people here, we have no visual aid. Look on Instagram. Sorry.
Yeah. Look on Instagram. Or you could hear it, rather.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick the first one. Now, this is for the From Beyond still, signed by Jeffrey Combs. Spectre M91, baby.
He's going to enjoy that.
It's you, brother. Congratulations.
There you go, Mikey.
Give it a shake and put your old paw in there.
My diddler?
Don't put that fucking thing in my pumpkin,
claw?
please. Don't put it in there. Those hands.
Can you hear that on the microphone?
Was it ASMR now? Come on, pull the name.
Not. All right, sorry, holding everything up. All right, and the winner is...
Hold it up to the camera when you know it.
I'm not going to say this right. Aguinta 3. I don't know. Something I can't say, but you've won.
Aguinta 3.
Aguina 3.
Adwina Beck and Bowl.
I don't know. You won.
Yes,
You won
congratulations. You won the Exhumed poster signed by Jeffrey Combs. And that's it. That's the show. We just want to thank CRYPT Video Rentals and Tapes from the Crypt and Retro Release Video and Vintage View Cinemas and Neshaminy Creek for having us. This has been an absolute blast. Thank you so much to Tony from Hack the Movies for doing the switch in. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out in the audience. Thank you for coming and hanging out on YouTube. We will catch you soon with another brand new Ripe review.
On Salem's Lot. On the new Salem's Lot.
On Salem's Lot, coming out soon. I'm Joe Lascola.
I'm Sean Rourke, or Batman, or Beetlejuice, or something.
And
Bat juice.
we will see you on the next one.